Hey everybody, Laura Sanko here, and welcome to Quick Hits presented by Jose Cuervo Tequila. I am backstage at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, getting ready for UFC 271. And look who I found. I cannot think of a better person.
My buddy.
I know, my buddy. We're friends today for sure.
We are.
I can't think of a better person to talk about this card with. Now I know I can't get predictions from you. We can't cross that territory. But let's talk about this main event real quick. Obviously, the way the first one went down between Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya, Whittaker is the one that needs to be making the adjustments. And I know you had a nice long conversation with him, which can be found on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome. What'd you take away from that interview?
That Robert Whittaker is much more calm. He's much more relaxed. And honestly, that's what's going to have to be tonight. Because the first fight, he was rushing. And I believe that he played right into Adesanya's game. Adesanya is a masterful counter striker. So if you rush and you don't take your time, he's going to put you out. We saw it with Costa. We saw it with Robert Whittaker, amongst many others over the course of his career. But when we haven't seen that is when people are more than willing to accept the boring fight. When the fight's slow. When you guys at home are all mad, Israel Adesanya is having closer fights. Because when you don't rush and you don't lead, he doesn't have the opportunity to counter. So you think Yoel Romero, you think Jan Blachowicz. Those fights where guys were patient really did give Izzy problems. So Robert has to be okay being in a fight where the fans aren't loving what he's doing.
Do you feel like because of that, because he needs to take a very different approach, and we know that Izzy is patient, and he's gonna fight to win. He's not gonna lose that belt off of making stupid decisions. Yep. Do you feel like this fight is gonna look a lot different than the first one?
It'll look much different. Yeah. I expect a much slower pace. Remember, in fight one, that first round, I mean, they felt the energy of the 55, 50 to 60. I don't know. Yeah. Listen, I keep saying 60,000.
I keep hearing 70.
Yeah, I know.
It's getting bigger. At
some point, you're going to say it was 100,000.
It might as well have been.
Yeah, but whatever it was, they felt the energy of the crowd because they went after it from minute number one. I think tonight, it'll be a much slower pace because I feel like Whittaker was the one that was starting all those exchanges. Tonight, he'll try to wait for Izzy to kind of play the game. We've seen that in him since he has started to go on his 3-fight win streak.
Sprinkling in the wrestling a little bit, too. Absolutely. We'll see if that happens. Okay, quick. I know you don't have much time. By the way, I'm going to take a left turn in this interview because I can. Did you just call a fight in the metaverse?
I did. I just called a fight between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Max Holloway in the metaverse for Legion Form. It's his new company that I'm working with.
What was that like?
It was crazy because I watched them fight on the VR screen, but also to the right, I was watching them in live action. Holloway from his living room and Khabib from the gym in AKA. So it was interesting to see those guys moving as they were throwing punches at each other. It was fun.
Who won?
Khabib won. Khabib won.
Of course Khabib won.
Striking. So Khabib, being the arrogant guy, goes, I'm the best boxer in the UFC, right? Because Max always says he's the best boxer in the UFC.
That's amazing. Sorry to distract you, but as you were talking, I was like, man, I got to hear about this. Let's get back to the fights tonight. The co-main event, Tai Tuivasa and Derek Lewis. Now, I feel like Tai Tuivasa doesn't always get enough credit for the fight IQ that he has. You have trained with him. He came out to AKA. What's something that I think maybe the average fan would find surprising about his skill set or his mentality?
You know, honestly, he's a fighter through and through, Tuivasa. That's one thing that you could never take away from him. But the one thing that's very surprising is his patience and ability to really set up his shots. Nothing he's doing is by luck. The closest thing to luck was Greg Hardy because he was hurt, but that's not luck. That's him having the instinct to go and throw the right hand that knocked Greg Hardy out. Tai Tuivasa will set you up with outside leg kicks, and then when you start to get a bit desperate, that's when he starts to let things go. Sets traps beautifully, and tonight he's going to have to do that against Derek Lewis because the threat is so high when you're in there with Derek Lewis.
You've been there.
I'm telling you.
You cooked him.
It makes you nervous, though. Like, I'm telling you, Derek Lewis is so powerful. I picked his leg up in the air. He hammer fisted me. I had a black eye for 3 days. He hits that hard. So Ty's going to have to fight the right way if he wants to be successful. But historically, Derek Lewis has done really well with this type of matchup.
And Derek, being back in Houston, last time we were here and we were talking to him before the fight with Cyril Gahn, we all said it. We could all feel it. Even he said it, I think, at one point. He didn't feel right mentally. The moment, the nerves, the fact that it's in Houston got to him. Now we're back in Houston again, but he does feel different this time, or he seems to.
It's the matchup, right? You understand when you're fighting Cyril Gane that he's going to move. He's not going to be where you expect him to be. He's going to touch you. He's going to frustrate you. And I think that is what got to Derek Lewis in that fight. Now, in the fighter meetings on Wednesday, Derek even said it. He goes, I'm not getting hurt. He goes, Cyril Gane never even hurt me. He goes, I get frustrated. I get tired. He goes, and I just kind of cover up. So he says that he didn't get hurt by Cyril Gane. But if he's not careful tonight, Tai Tuivasa has the ability to hurt him. But he also has that same option, the nuclear bomb that he has in the right hand.
Yeah, and Ty's got that good chin, so he might be putting that to the test for sure. One more before I let you go. Is there another fight, another fighter that we need to know about on this card?
Bobby Green versus Nasrat Haqparast. I mean, this is going to be an absolute banger. The first fight on the main card is going to be insane. Because not only is Haqparast a fantastic young athlete, he has now disrespected the veteran Bobby Green, saying he's going to dominate him. And we know how Bobby Green responds to those types of challenges. We saw it in the fight against Fiziev, where he fought beautifully. We saw what he just did to Ally Quinta. So when people are starting to write the obituary for Bobby Green, he continues to reset the thought. He continues to reset the story. And tonight he has another opportunity against a very young and talented Nasrat Haqparast. This is going to be a good one.
That is going to be a nasty fight to kick off the main card, DC. Thank you so much. I'll let you go call these fights in reality this time. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, keep it locked in right here. More quick hits presented by Jose Cuervo Tequila coming your way.
Brunson MMA Fitness is in the Independence Mall in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a great place. We built this thing up from the previous gym. We had 1,000 square foot. Now we're at almost 5,000 square foot. We got adult class, kids. We even have like 60-year-old people doing BJJ, that's competing with kids that are like 20 years old. So it's a good mix, good vibes, and everybody come and want to work hard and get better. And that's how we keep it here at Brunson MMA Fitness. Slide, grab a wrist, arm drag, I like for my gym to stay authentic. So when I'm not training for a fight, I'm teaching, 3 to 4 times a week. And, this is my gym. It just doesn't have my name on it. I'm here daily. I'm helping people out, helping people get ready for fights. I'm just here every day. Having this gym it's never been about the money to me. My money is made when I fight in the UFC. But being able to give back, help people out, we have aspiring young athletes who are where I was at when I started my career, maybe even younger. So just being able to pass that knowledge down, help people out. We have a lot of quotes on the wall just to inspire people. People might come in the gym and might not have a purpose that day. They see a quote and it kind of gives them that little fire.
Good class today, guys. Remember it.
Our motto is be strong, be fit, be me, be MMA. So that's kind of how we built the gym and how we do things here.
Let's go, light. Family light, 30 seconds light. We're gonna do 5 minutes of it.
For Robert Whittaker, that means welcoming the National Rugby League's Penrith Panthers to his home gym.
30 seconds, we're gonna fight. Hard for double unders, put it down.
Where the NRL's premiership winners continue a wrestling regimen that has bolstered their performances on the turf.
The Penrith Panthers in good attacking position here.
Impact of wrestling in NRL is massive.
Now for Luai, back, Burton's into a hole, and he's into the in-goal area for a try.
It affects slowing the play of the ball down, completing tackles.
The challenges are there, thick and fast. The Panthers celebrate the premiers of 21.
Every team has a wrestling coach. Ours is just the best.
We're always looking to improve. Just kind of exposing our team and our guys to something a little bit different and fresh. You get some strength out of it, some conditioning, which is very relevant to our sport.
To be involved with such an elite level team of like-minded individuals makes a big difference in the gym.
The Panthers train alongside the Reaper as he prepares to represent Australia in the February 12th rematch with New Zealand's Israel Adesanya.
Now that it's almost time to fight, we could put this whole Australia versus New Zealand thing to bed.
It was never a country versus country. It was me versus Izzy.
But the storied rivalry between nations won't distract Whittaker from the task at hand.
The Australian-New Zealand rivalry, that was one of the things that got in my head the first fight, honestly. They made such a big thing out of it.
And we've got 2 guys from this side of the world. The rivalry between Aussies and Kiwis, it's not going to end here. I'll guarantee you that.
You live in Australia and you got Kiwi heritage.
Yeah.
He gets in New Zealand, he's got Nigerian heritage. How's all of that kind of fit into everything?
56,000 plus will pack the house Sunday at UFC 243.
Robert, he does not want to let everyone down. He's in his home country. He doesn't want to let everyone down.
Nice.
Now I don't care. Personally, I just want to try and get that back.
And hook. Beautiful.
All I know is that I'm very confident going into this next fight, that I'm going in there as the best me.
Right hand.
Going in there with my head the way I need it to be, that I want it to be. I'm going in there with my skill set and my confidence in my skill set. I'm going to give my best go at this, and that will satisfy me.
And again. Good trainer, Rob. Nice work.
The way he's approached the fight lets me know he's taking the first step in accepting that I was better than him that night.
It's that right hook counter. Every time Robert jumps in there, that right hook counter is landing beautifully.
He's going to come in with a different game plan, different strategies.
1-2 minus.
And I'm preparing to do better than I did the first time.
And that speaks to the evolution of the all-around game of Adesanya.
It's Australia versus New Zealand once again on February 12th. As Whittaker...
He's made adjustments to get the title and face Adesanya next. I'm excited.
And Adesanya.
One of the most dynamic, layered strikers, and of course a game that has continued to round itself into form.
Run it back in the prime of their careers for undisputed middleweight glory.
Me and him are not the same. We're not on the same level. I've knocked him out twice in one fight.
The way he understands timing and distance is unparalleled.
So I'm going to finish him again.
He makes it look easy no matter what he is doing.
He's the most sophisticated striker in the sport.
Oh!
But this Robert Whittaker looks so much better than the guy that fought Izzy for the title.
Izzy's going to be a hard fight.
Oh my goodness.
He's the champ for a reason.
He does things that other people just don't do inside the octagon.
You never know where he's going.
But I think I have the skill set to beat him.
Look at that. I mean, come on. These in and out actions, these angles, this is what made Robert Whittaker so special.
I'm stacking every chip in my favor.
I mean, he's gotten better. He went away and he actually got better.
We'll see whose night it is when we get there.
This is the fight to make. Let them have this great battle that they had once before.
My last fight was with Kevin Gastelum, and I was victorious, 5 rounds, coming off of traumatic injury to my forearm and the subsequent surgery to get that thing fixed. So I came out intent on winning, yet still aware of the dangers that Kevin presented. So my game plan worked, you know. I felt like I had superior footwork in the matchup. I definitely felt like I was more powerful. I wasn't able to put him away, even though I came pretty close a couple of times. It was still a good showing that I felt. I was still proud of my effort that I gave. I'm still happy and proud of the effort that Kelvin gave. He gave me a good test of 4 rounds, like 5 rounds in a blender with that guy. So he's moving, he's ducking, he's giving you looks. Whatever game plan he came up with himself was effective in its efforts, but not successful.
Well, it is the biggest fight in the history of Australia and New Zealand, and the undisputed middleweight championship is at stake. Back in 2017, Robert Whittaker became Australia's first UFC champion. Since then, a bona fide superstar has emerged. Enter the last style bender, Israel Adesanya.
Robert, he does not want to let everyone down. He's in his home country. He doesn't want to let everyone down.
Robert Whittaker with the nation on his shoulders against a man who has taken the sport by storm.
You put 2 of the best strikers in the world together, someone's gonna get caught.
Oh! That's it! Israel Adesanya is the undisputed king of the middleweights! Man! Chapter 1 goes to the last style bender, but perhaps these 2 gentlemen are destined to fight again.
I can beat him. Honest to God, I have the skill sets to beat him. Trust me when I say I'm not going anywhere.
The Reaper, rejuvenated, revitalized, on a mission to get his title back.
A guy that is using all of his skill now.
This is a completely different animal.
Now, Whittaker could beat him. That's the truth.
This is a new fight. This is a new me he's dealing with. But I'm still the best in the world.
The most sophisticated and the most complex striker that I've ever seen inside the octagon. That is it! Wow. Still undisputed!
My arch nemesis, Whittaker, Bobby Knuckles. I'm the champion. Let's go.
Be careful what you ask for. I'm dangerous, and I'm looking to go in there and take his head off.
At the end of the day, the result's gonna be the same. I'll finish him again.
Big bombs are going to be flying to Houston.
Oh, and Lewis puts him out. The most knockouts in UFC history.
The clean KO for Tai Tuivasa.
It is going to be a fantastic night down in Houston.
Here for Quick Hits presented by Jose Cuervo Tequila. I'm backstage at the Toyota Center getting ready for UFC 271, and as always, we had to go straight to the source, straight to the expert, the man, Gianni the Greek Corrales, going to help us out here with putting our money in the right place tonight. And Gianni, this is a big weekend for bettors, is it not?
As big as they come. I mean, you have the Super Bowl coupled with UFC card of a pay-per-view event. And the sports books are just so jam-packed with bettors. So they're looking to like parlay college basketball with MMA, MMA with the Super Bowl, college basketball with MMA with the Super Bowl. It's like that, honestly.
It's getting wild. It's getting wild.
Yeah, it's bettor's paradise out here. And you're seeing it affect the UFC betting lines significantly as a lot of casual bettors are going to the window.
We always like that when you get some casuals in the mix. Maybe creates a little bit more value for some of us. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the main event: Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker for the middleweight title. It is, of course, a rematch, which I personally love because there's a little less guesswork involved. Still a lot, but a little bit less. We've got a baseline in terms of how these two match up. But given how the first fight went, largely in Israel Adesanya's favor, he got the finish. Given the fact that Robert Whittaker is going to have to make probably quite a few adjustments coming into this one, do you think the line is where it needs to be? Is there any value? Are you betting this? Help us out here.
I broke my own rule. I'm not supposed to bet this fight. There's no betting value as far as the line goes because the books did a good job of adjusting. The sports betting market's extremely efficient and it corrects itself. And this is just a correction from that first fight, which had Izzy as the underdog, and he went off at about a pick-em. So now that he's almost about a 3-1 favorite, I think that's where it's about even. But I still think he has too many advantages. When I see even that first fight, and I don't put too much stock in it, he beat him twice. He finished him at the end of the first round, then finished him again in the second round. I mean, he just has that reach advantage that's going to give him problems. All the metrics point he's going to continue to give him problems. And I don't think the wrestling at this weight class is going to give Izzy the problems that he had at 205. I know everyone saw Whittaker over his last 3 fights bring that takedown rate way up, but that was against much different opposition. I don't think he's going to have that success against Izzy. I think he's going to run into the same brick wall, and that's when it's going to sink in. It's Izzy, and I think Izzy takes over the fight from there.
And to your point, I mean, even if Robert Whittaker does lean on the wrestling chops a little bit, the difference in size between Jan Blachowicz and Robert Whittaker is massive. Jan, a very big light heavyweight. Robert Whittaker spent a lot of his career down at welterweight, so completely agree with you. They're very different frames. It just changes a lot when you're talking about grappling. So I like what you have there. Let's talk about the co-main event. 2 heavyweights, 2 bangers. I mean, man, the king of knockouts in the history of the UFC. I know you're not in the business of predicting fights, particularly when it comes to the heavyweights, particularly when it comes to heavyweights who get a lot of knockouts. Are you even touching this one?
Actually, I haven't, and here's why. Because I think if you bet it, you have to look to the underdog, and that's the Tai Tuivasa side. Because of the randomness we know at heavyweight. The problem I'm having is Derek Lewis's strength of schedule. He's faced a very tough slate of opposition. And not only has he faced them, but he's been able to beat many of them. And we don't know if Tuivasa's at that level yet. That's the problem I'm having, where I'm not in any rush to jump to the window and bet Tuivasa. But if I have to bet this fight, it's the only way I can go because of that one-punch knockout power that both possess. Who would be surprised if Tuivasa lands the big shot first? Nobody. Yep. And who would be surprised if Lewis lands the big shot first? And when you're laying almost -2-1, don't forget this. When you're walking to the window, tell yourself, I have to win this 2 out of 3 times just to break even. If this fighter can't win at a higher rate than that, it's probably not a good bet. And that's why I have trouble getting to the window with the Derek Lewis side. So it's Tuivasa or pass. I'm just not going to bet the Tuivasa side probably. I may sprinkle a little something just to cheer in a shoey. I like to cheer those in. I'm the sucker for them.
You know what? I had more than one yesterday.
I love the antics. I saw the weigh-in show. I love the antics of those kind of stuff. I live for it.
It was good.
Sports needs more of it.
It was good. It was good. Are there any prop lines in terms of how many shoeys Ty's going to do before he leaves the arena? I feel like that'd be a good line to have.
No, the prop bet on this one, here's what's funny. I'm so glad you brought up props because I don't think there's a single person walking the earth that has an over ticket like that this fight will go to distance. From when they put this line up, it was like -500 to begin with. And it's just every ticket writer I spoke to, every sportsbook operator I spoke to is like, we haven't taken a single bet that this fight goes past 1.5 rounds or that this one goes the distance. If this one goes 15 minutes, sportsbooks will clean up and it'll wipe out so many parlays that are tied into that fight ending quickly.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I love the props. I can't wait for the day we have a little bit more of the fun props in MMA like we do for the big games.
Exactly.
But that's a whole other discussion. Let's talk about the high risk, high reward. Where can we put a little bit of money that if things go right, we're going to get a lot in return?
Here's where I'm going to have to go. We know there was the big weight miss, and that throws a wrench into a lot of my plan. I love the Grisham side early. And now I'm going ahead and actually saying he wins this in the first round. And here's why. Because at light heavyweight, we know there's 6 out of 10 times, if not higher, the fight does not go to distance. When they finish, 38% of the time they finish in the first round. If it gets out of the first round, only 10% of the time will it finish once it gets past the second. So once it gets out of that first 5 minutes, the percentage of it decreases by like 3x of it ending. So I like Grisham a lot, and I bet him already at minus 170, 165. And I saw the plus money that he gets it done early. So I went ahead and I took it like plus 300, plus 400, whatever you could find worth a small sprinkle. But I think he gets it done. I don't like the heavy weight miss. And I think the price gets paid for that. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of William Knight, but I think this is a bad fight for him.
And to your point, if you remember Maxim Grisham's UFC debut, he actually went up to heavyweight, very last minute fight. So this is not his first time tagging with the guy who's got some pounds on him. So I think he knows what to expect, and I'm with you. This should be a very good fight for him. And lastly, of course, for the people who are a little bit more risk averse, what's your best bet of the card?
I got an underdog for you. And I know the fans are not going to be happy because they're huge Andrei Arlovsky fans. Who's not? Who don't cheer for Arlovsky, especially at this age? Here's the problem I'm having. He shouldn't be this big of a favorite. In fact, if you did nothing else but woke up on Saturday and looked at the schedule and said, I'm going to look for a fighter that's 14 years younger than his opponent, and you only bet those fighters and did nothing else, you will have cashed 77 out of every 100 bets you place. That's how big of a predictive advantage that metric has given us when it comes to age. It's a huge gap to overcome. And I like the fact he's going to have this reach advantage. And I'm seeing the money coming in on Arlovsky. Listen, backing him as a dog, I could see that. But as a favorite, again, I just don't think it's warranted. And that's why I'm on the Bandera side. And I went ahead and took the plus 125, plus 130. I think it's extremely generous. I'm all over that big fella.
I'm all over that big fella. I'm going to drop the mic on that one, Gianni. Thank you so much for taking a second. We've got some great fights to go watch. Guys, keep it locked in right here for more quick hits presented by Jose Cuervo Tequila coming your way. Thank you, Gianni.
Thank you.